Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Big Daddy Gaming. Today we're going to be playing Buried. It's an interactive story rather than one of the normal games that I play where I run around and shoot shit. We're going to be playing this. I I saw this game. I've seen a little bit of it, and I found it really interesting. It's a new type of experience for me. I'm not used to playing text-based games. I'm used to playing, run around, shoot people in the mouth kind of games. So, as you can tell, it is broken up into 5 chapters, which means there'll be at least 5 videos. I'm going to play it by chapter, but after I finish the main story for you guys, I might venture off and see what other decisions do. It all depends. Um, Obviously, the choices that you make will affect the overall outcome of the story. Oh, yeah, it says it right there. Cool. So, with not much left to say. Let's jump right into it, huh? You get to listen to this beautiful voice read you a story for the next five episodes of this. Oh God, what have I done? Ooh, pretty. I open my eyes and the first thing I want to do is scream. I'm flat on my back and everything seems to hurt. The trees overhead look familiar. It's a clear night sky, almost beautiful, except for the fact that this means I've been out cold for at least 6 hours. But there's something wrong. I don't remember what, but something happened in my head. My God, my head hurts, and it ringing in my ears. Was there an accident? An explosion, I think. I remember Dennis screaming, but after that, I can't remember. As I sit up, I notice my hard hat has been thrown off. I look around the area, but it's not here. It feels strange to go anywhere without my hard hat, but I've got to find the other members of my crew. They could be in danger. Safety first. I'm gonna go for the hard hat. Woo, hard hat. I get up on shaky legs and look around for a moment. A few nearby trees look to have been splintered and broken at the base recently. They certainly weren't like this earlier. Searching for the hard hat feels normal. It makes me feel like maybe there isn't something wrong here. I see it behind a fallen log about 10 feet away from me. How it was thrown so far is beyond me. Driven by nothing more than habit, I walk over to it, pick it up, and place it on my head. Next, I walk over to the center of the locking site and don't like what I see. Oh no, what do I see? Oh no. Whoa. Those visuals, though. The logging site looks like a bomb was detonated right in the center. I don't know where to start. The one load we had managed to stack on a truck for the day is overturned, the trailer bent and the logs hanging off the back. Where the hell is everyone? My head is killing me, and this ringing in my ears. I can't hear anything. Not birds, not my footsteps, nothing. It makes me wonder if I hit my head after my hard hat flew off. I run through a quick mental checklist to make sure my brain is still working. My name is Roger Hastings. I'm 41 years old. The year is 2017. I own a small logging company, and we've been logging in this strip of Kentucky woodland for almost a month now. Okay, so my brain works. That's relief. But it also makes me fearful, because something is certainly not right here. I look around the logging site, my mind trying to figure out what has happened. Just about every piece of equipment has been overturned or tilted. Debris or the truck. Look at the truck. The truck. The hitch is completely broken, like it was blown off in an explosion or a really bad accident. Had there been an explosion, all of the fuel on site would have started a fire, but there's no charring, no burning, nothing. I walked through the area where Dennis had been working. From the looks of it, he'd been moving slowly. He'd only taken about down 4 trees today. His metal lunchbox is open, an indicator that he had been taking an early break, but he's not here. No one is here. Where the hell is everyone? I could try to make a call on my cell phone, but its battery is already running really low. Not that it matters, the reception is crap out here. I might be able to use the phone later, but at the same time it might be easier. I'm going to save that phone for later. never know when a phone might come in handy. Hey, guys, where is everyone? Tony? Dennis? Frank? Joe? But their names fall flat among the wreckage. I get nothing back other than scaring away a few birds overhead. Might as well start walking and try to find some answers. The highway is almost a mile back through the woods, down the gravel road we used to reach the site. Maybe the crew ran that way for help. But why would they have left me? Were they scared? Out of sorts? Maybe I can catch up to them, but with my truck turned over on its side, it looks like I'll be walking. My God, I can't even remember what I was doing before waking up on my back. Wait, what's that underneath the bulldozer? Oh my God, it's a leg. It has to be either Tony or Dennis. The dozer looks unstable, like it might roll some more. Might not be safe to get close, but at the same time, I can't just leave him there. The safe thing to do would be to stay back, but the moral thing to do would be to go look. Normally, I'm not all about good morals, considering I like pirates, but oh well. Hey! I yell. Are you okay? Are you alive? Holding onto my hat, I skip over the wrecked equipment and stray logs to get closer. I can see a bit more of the leg. The jeans are soaked in blood. I recognize the work boots. It's clearly Tony. His leg is bent at an impossible angle, nearly crushed flat. The closer I get, the more apparent it becomes that Tony didn't survive. Fuck, man. I'm not gonna fuck with that dozer. If it tips over and kills me, that's not... fuck. I'm sorry, Tony. I'm sorry. There's nothing more I could do for him now. I start to back away slowly. In my shock, I stumble back, suddenly tripping over one of the stray logs. My head collides with one of the logs as I bite the ground, but my hard hat does its job. Thank God I decided to look for it earlier. Ha! Suck it! I got the hard hat, boy! But what's more startling is realizing that Tony's dead. Looking at him, I feel something rising up in my throat, and I don't know if it's a scream or vomit. But I have to push it away. If I lose my cool right now, there are too many questions that will go unanswered. Shit. I can't believe this. Tony. He had 2 boys. He coached his oldest son's baseball team. He was the hardest worker I had, and was one of the most honest and reliable men I knew. This isn't right. I can't stay here. I have to find Dennis, Frank, and Joe. I have to find out what's happened here. Ooh, that's sad. That hurts. Not Tony, man. Come on. I'm sorry. That's not something I should be making fun of. Dude was killed by a bulldozer. As I walk through the stacks of logs from the last week or so of work, everything feels frozen. This high-pitched sound in my ears, it's terrible. It keeps happening every few seconds and sounds like it's coming from far away. I can't help but wonder, is it my ears or is it something else? The silence out here is creepy, and there's a smell, like the atmosphere after a bad summer storm. I might as well admit it, I'm a little scared. Everyone is missing, and it's dead quiet out here. There doesn't even seem to be a breeze to rustle the leaves and branches. My right knee hurts like hell. My head was hurting so bad before that, I never even noticed the pain in my knee. I must have heard it during the what? Accident? Or... Wait, is that Dennis? I see him sitting on the ground, motionless, about 30 feet away. I'm gonna yell out for him. I don't wanna... If this is a zombie thing, I don't wanna... Dennis! I yell. Dennis, can you hear me? As Dennis lets out a shout, like someone waking up from a nightmare. Then he looks back at me from the ground. Yeah, Roger, I hear ya. He hollers back as I head over to him. Dennis is built like a wrestler and has a tough personality to match. But in this moment, he looks disoriented and even a little anxious. Though I'm glad to see him, the fear in his usually confident face is alarming. What the hell happened? What's going on? He asks. Don't know. The crew is missing. An explosion, I think. Oh shit. This might be the very first, like, important, or not the very first, one of the first important things. Do I just say don't know and not admit to something that I don't know if happened? Or do I claim to know more than I know? I don't know what the fuck happened, so I'm not going to say that I know what happened, even if it's just a guess. I'm just gonna say I don't know what the fuck's going on, but the crew's gone. Missing? Dennis says. Where do you think they went? I'm not sure, I say, but it has me pretty freaked out. Something's not right here. Still sitting on the ground, he looks around the woods as if he is just now understanding the severity of the situation. The equipment went overturned, the dozers too, I say, shifting my hard hat and wiping my forehead. You okay? I ask him. Yeah, just shaken up. Me too. This might not be the most intimate conversation Dennis and I have ever had. While he and I have always been on good terms, this might be the most intimate conversation Dennis and I have ever had. While he and I have always been on good terms, we've never been particularly close. I've always respected him, though. Sure, he's come to work a few times looking like he'd been at a bar fight the night before, but I've also seen him do an enthusiastic impression of a dinosaur as he played with Tony's kid while they waited for their dad to finish up his shift. It's then that it hits me. Dennis and Tony were good friends. I'm not sure if I want to rattle him with the news of Tony's deaths right now, not before we know what's going on, but he has the right to know. Fuck! Why are you giving me these situations? Why are you doing this to me? Fuck! Oh, man. I would want to know. I would want to know. I don't care how bad the situation is. I would want to know. You were upfront with Dennis about Tony. Dennis's eyes fixate on me, startled. He was crushed under the dozer, I say. Dennis pauses for a moment, like he's trying to understand what I said. His eyes narrow and his bottom lip quivers. Shit, he says, and I can tell that he's fighting back tears. He and Tony had been tight, almost like brothers. Hey, he adds quickly, as if trying to escape the reality of Tony's death. Did you see that light? No, I say. What did you see? I don't even know, Roger, he says. It was like this flare of white light. It came right up out of the ground like an explosion. So there was an explosion, I say. Maybe it was some equipment, this was no equipment. Dennis interrupts, agitated. This huge ball of light came right out of the damn ground. Well, obviously, he doesn't know what the fuck it looked like. It looks like a big ball of light, so where did it go is probably the better answer. Or better question. It just shot up into the sky until it was out of sight. When? I'm not sure, he answers. But I had finished about 10 trees for the day, and was about to top one. That's when it happened. You were almost done with 10 trees? I ask. Yeah, he says, looking at the ground. You know, I wouldn't want to take a lunch break until I was done. And that's when the light blew up. Why, you don't believe me? I believe you. No, I believe him. I believe him. He saw what he saw, I think to myself. He has no reason to lie about this. My God, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, he says. But if I'm being honest, it scared me pretty bad. And if it's all the same to you, I'd like to get the hell out of here. We both stand up and start heading towards the road. It isn't until we start moving that I see Dennis is wounded. His right side is coated in blood, the red seeping through his blue work shirt. There are spatters of it here and there, but also a very red splotch that makes me worry. Fuck, man. How'd you get it? But he was also fucking knocked out, so how would he know? So are you in a lot of pain? I'm just gonna go with that one. I've been better. I don't know how much longer I can stay on my feet, he says. What happened? I ask. I'm not sure, Dennis replies. I must have gotten thrown or hurt somehow from that light. It's then that I notice that the strange ringing noise is still filling the air. Hey, I say, stopping. Do you hear that high-pitched ringing noise every once in a while? Dennis looks scared when I ask him this question, and he just nods. I thought it was just me, he says. He looks out of sorts and uncertain. I've never seen him like this before. It's obvious that he's looking for some reassurance. Even though I'm his boss, there's something very unnerving about this. We'll be okay. It's probably nothing. Let's reassure him. Let's be realistic, I tell myself. I might as well try to be empathetic. Out here in the middle of these woods, the ringing could be anything. Maybe a car alarm from through the woods or something. Still, even my passive comment seems to have reassured Dennis. He looks a bit calmer, more relaxed. We both start moving forward and don't say another word. "Did you try to call Frank?" Dennis asks. I know he had his cell on him today. Not yet. Luckily, I have some battery left. I pull out my cell and call Frank, happy I didn't make that call to Dennis earlier. It rings, but he doesn't pick up. But then I hear his phone go off, behind the stack of logs. Dennis and I each give each other a look. As the phone goes to voicemail, I hang up, and we walk behind the logs to find Frank's phone on the ground, abandoned. We look around for Frank, but find nothing, not a single trace. It's then that I notice something really odd, a 10-foot wide hole in the ground right near where the phone was. But there's no stray piles of removed dirt or rocks. It's clean, smoothly dug, cutting into the earth, wide but only a few feet deep. It looks unnatural, like the ground was just deleted, no shovels or diggers used. Dennis walks over to it. This looks like the same kind of hole where I saw that light come from the ground, he muses to himself. I say nothing. My mind is spinning, but I don't know what to think. "We need to get out of here," Dennis mutters. At the moment, that ringing noise carries through the forest again, sending a shiver down my spine. Dennis is right. There's something strange going on, and we might not be safe here. But that ringing sound could be a clue to where the rest of the crew went. I want to know what the fuck is up with that ringing. Alright, I'm gonna check out the ringing because I'm a dickbeat. You decided to check out the sound. Fuck yeah, I did. Something's not right, I say. And if there's a mechanical noise like that, you think someone's out here? He asks. Maybe. I think we should at least check it out. They might be able to help. Yeah, you go right ahead, he says with a grin. I'll be here waiting for you. Better hurry, though. Dennis doesn't look like he's in the best shape to be trouncing around the forest, but we need some answers right away, too. Fuck, man. I don't want to leave Dennis. Nope, you're coming with me, big guy. Sorry, you decided to bring Dennis. No, you're coming with me. I bend over and hoist him up against my shoulder. He resists just barely and then gives in. He's looking at me like he's terrified of me now, making a moan in his throat. We start moving through the woods quickly with no idea where the rest of the crew is. I worry they could be in danger. Every tree out here looks exactly the same. I grew up in the country and can find my way around the forest without much of a problem, but I'm feeling dizzy. I'm leaning against a tree when I see something that has no business being out here. Our logging crew has been out here for 3 weeks, and I've never seen it before. Continue. So, I swear, I'm not, like the videos, keeping time with my voice, I promise. I'm just slow. It's a small building, sort of like a mixture of a shack and a bunker. It looks to be made of concrete, but moss, weeds, and plain old erosion also make it look sort of mystical. It looks like something out of a demented version of a medieval fantasy movie. What the hell is this? Dennis asks. I have no idea, or some sort of old power station. I do not know. Which should I pick? Some old power station, question mark. Dennis shakes his head. Why would one be way out here? He's right. I can't come up with a legitimate reason for something like this being here. Do you think the others maybe went in here? He asks nervously. Why would they do that? I ask. I don't know, but they aren't out here. If they aren't inside, they're probably dead, like Tony. He looks at the ground as he says this. I want to go inside, not just to find my crew, but also to appease my curiosity. That ringing noise is coming from inside. But something about this place seems incredibly strange, especially located all by itself out here. It simply does not belong. I wonder, do we knock or just go in? Dennis asks. I can tell that he is trying to make a joke, but it falls flat. I'm starting to think his humor is a defense mechanism for his fear. We both look ahead, take a moment to realize what we are about to do, and start forward. We go no more than 3 feet closer when Dennis wobbles. I'm going to reach out and steady you. Here for you, Dennis. I reach out quickly, straining my injured knee. Oh, that might have been bad. I barely make it in time, grabbing him under his arms and keeping him from hitting the ground. I'm okay, he said. Just, can you help me walk for a little while? Just help me inside, please. I can't deny him his request. I've never seen him this weak, and it's a little uncomfortable to see. It makes me glad I decided to keep him with me. I help Dennis into the weird little building. The front door opens easily, even though there's clearly a lock on it. Maybe the lock was supposed to keep someone in. It's hard to tell. I still hear that ringing noise. It's definitely coming from in here. Stretching out in front of me is a small interior to match the outside. The building is totally empty. There's a concrete floor and dingy, featureless walls, and there are no windows, giving the place an even more isolated feel. Still, we hear the ringing noise coming from somewhere in here. It's louder now, more prominent. The interior seems confined at first, but a small set of concrete steps leads about 5 feet down, revealing a corridor. I like corridors. Whoa, long fucking corridor. What? It's a massive corridor. In fact, like I'm in some kind of building underground. It seems to go on forever. This corridor is mostly dark, with emergency lights every 10 feet or so. I assume we're now underground because this corridor extends far beyond the walls of the building we entered. I realize that someone might not appreciate finding us here. Speed or efficiency? I'm gonna go quiet. It's probably a good idea. I feel like a ghost, like I truly have no business being here. Dennis leans on me for support. We move slowly, our feet not making a sound. If anyone is in here, I want to make sure they don't hear us. We tiptoed forward as softly as we can. As I carry Dennis to the far end of this otherwise featureless place, I see a flight of concrete stairs leading down. I have to set Dennis down on the floor. His weight is killing me. Dennis, are you okay? Stop worrying, man, he says. I'll be okay. I just need a minute to rest. But looking at him, I'm not so sure. I can still hear the ringing noise every so often, coming from somewhere in here. I look ahead at the concrete stairs, pointing towards them so that Dennis sees them. Can you make it down those stairs? I ask. He stands up slowly and is visibly making an effort not to fall back down. Yeah, he says, and sounds a little irritated. He starts for the stairs without me, and I have no choice but to follow. We approach the stairs, and by just looking at them against I get the sense that we are crossing some sort of line here. There may very well be no going back. Ooh, pretty. Not really. As I head down the stairs, I notice that they look aged. That damned ringing noise is somewhere below, louder than ever. I feel like I'm walking down into the cellar of a haunted house, the light becoming scarce as the stairs take a slight turn. I can feel the temperature drop. Dennis makes it a few steps down before he's leaning on the wall. He's breathing like he just finished a marathon. I'm going to give him a break. He needs to conserve his energy. Let's take a break, I say, putting my hand towards his shoulder to help steady him. Dennis lets out a sigh. Thanks, I don't feel too great, boss. As we both squat down on a stair, my mind seems to lock in on the unknown fate of the rest of my crew. Frank is married, and I've met his wife a few times. A nice woman with a huge laugh. My heart sags a bit when I realize I might never again get to hear him belting out classic rock tunes during lunch break. Joe, well, I don't know too much about him. He's 22 years old and is considering community college. His folks are deadbeats, so he's been providing for himself since the age of 16 or so. Maybe I can still find them, and still get to hear Frank singing in his deep baritone voice after a few too many drinks. After a few moments, Dennis says, "All right, let's keep going." We both stand up, leaning on each other. I have to make Dennis stay behind me as I stick my foot out in search of the next step. I can't help feeling like a child as a very powerful fear seizes me. I'm expecting a monster to reach out of the darkness, slicing into my throat. After what feels like forever, we come to the bottom of the stairs. We're closer to that ringing noise now. A door sits securely in the wall, and looks just as out of place down here as I feel. A sliver of light seeps through, illuminating the area. The door has what looks like a panel with lots of labels and lights. A small, embossed print above the panel says, Level 01, Entrance Gate, Transport Sector, and there's a button with no label. I'm going to inspect the panel just a little bit more. I want to know more about what I'm doing. The panel looks like a diagnostic or alert system of some kind, each label meant to communicate some status. Lockdown engaged, experiment in progress, shutdown engaged. Those all appear to be off, but one of the phrases has a slowly blinking red light next to it. The only powered light on this whole thing. Abnormal entity breach. What the hell? I slowly push the door open when Dennis suddenly steps in front of me, taking the lead. Let's go, he says. I want to find out what the hell this place is. As Dennis walks through, that ringing or beeping or whatever it is gets a little louder. The door closes behind us with a click. I can't help but notice the wobble in Dennis's step as he lets out a grunt. You sure you're healthy enough to keep going? I ask. It doesn't matter. I don't want to be in the woods right now. He seems scared. Something I've never seen before. Angry? Yes. Upset? Yes. But Dennis is never scared. What did you see? I don't know what it was, boss. It was like someone left a radio on, crackling. But we don't have any radios at the site. It was, I don't know. It was like something in the forest was moving. I give him a doubtful look and he casts his eyes on the ground, frustrated. I know how it sounds, he says, but I know what I felt. It was like walking into a funeral parlor, feeling death and gloom everywhere. I've been so preoccupied with my own fear that I nearly forgot about the ringing noise. It had become just a background noise. We take a few more steps, and I can now see where we are. It makes no sense, yet another thing that simply seems out of place. The shapes and muted colors of metal are easy to identify, but it just doesn't belong here. End of Chapter 1. Well, that went not as smoothly as I would like, but still smoother than I thought it would. What's going on here? What's going on? Oh, respect the dead. You and 36% of players left Tony's body where you found it. Secrets. You and 76% of players were up front with Dennis about Tony's death. Trust. You and 55% told Dennis you believed his story. Curiosity. You and 75% of players went to investigate the ringing sound. Teamwork. You and 64% of players decided to bring Dennis with you. Well, alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, punch the shit out of that like button. If you enjoy the channel, go ahead and subscribe for updates on videos. Check out our Facebook and our Twitter pages if you want quicker updates, if you want to know what videos might be coming out, any future plans for the channel, any cool little updates, any special things we're doing, and for info on playing games with me. I'd like to play games with my fans, be it on Xbox or be it on the computer for video maybe. Other than that, thank you guys very much for watching again, and as always, I will see you in the next one.